He's not normal. It is being reported that Justin Bieber's mother has spilled the beans when it comes to Justin's complex mental health and abusive behavior in the past. Even more concerning is the fact that Hailey Bieber has now been revealed to endure restless nights as a result of Justin Bieber's treatment of her. The alleged behavior of Hailey's spouse, which has been branded as abusive, has shocked fans all over the world. Whether Justin Baldwin has been physically abusing his wife or has been subjecting her to mental torture, let's check into the situation and see what Hailey Baldwin's going through. So, what has Bieber done to his wife, and how has Hailey reacted to it? Let's find that and much more in this video. Let's take a look at remarks from Hailey Bieber herself, who sought to defend her husband from these claims, before moving on to situations that demonstrate Justin brutally mistreating his wife. It became clear that Hailey was unable to take a stronger stance because some videos that were about to be shown had already aired their dirty laundry. Despite the fact that Baldwin denied any such incidents, her words alone demonstrated that the concept of her being abused was gaining traction. The model chose to reply to accusations about her spouse during an appearance on an episode of 4D with Demi Lovato. Justin was supposed not good to her and mistreats her, according to Hailey's response to the reports. The 24-year-old model went on to call the charges big fat lies after mentioning them. It was just in July last year that a video of what looked to be Justin ranting at Bieber in Las Vegas went viral. According to BuzzFeed and Elle, Hailey Bieber afterward took to Instagram stories to declare that she had a great weekend, and the other stories were false. There are so many narratives that float around about me, about him, about us together, Hailey told the host of the show, pop star Demi Lovato. It's so far from the truth, and it's the complete and utter opposite. She continued, "I'm really lucky to say I'm with someone who's extremely respectful of me, who makes me feel special every single day. So when I see the opposite of that, I'm like, huh?" It's been important to remind herself what the actual truth is in the face of these falsehoods. And the truth, she says, is that she and Justin have literally never been more obsessed with each other and have so much fun together. That doesn't mean their relationship hasn't had challenges, she added. The model noted that she was someone who likes her own space and that losing her independence was one of the biggest things that scared me about getting married. But luckily, she said, she and her husband both really value space. But that doesn't mean their relationship hasn't experienced obstacles, she continued. The model said she is someone who prefers her own space and that losing her freedom was one of the main things that terrified me about getting married. But luckily, she said, she and her husband both really value space. Regardless of how much Hailey minimized those incidents, it's difficult to ignore how her husband has treated her in public. Justin has seldom held back from reacting to his wife in a highly troubling way, whether it be during live fan meets of the pair or out in public. Let's have a look at some of the alleged incidents of Justin Bieber mistreating his wife. The incident occurred only a few weeks ago in Mexico. Watch the video and see for yourself. While Justin seemed to be loving the music and dancing to it, Hailey did not appear to be in the same mood. While he was dancing, Justin plainly came closer to Hailey and invited her to join him. Hailey, on the other hand, seemed enraged about something as she began speaking and walked in the opposite direction towards the conclusion. The most unexpected aspect, though, appears to be Justin's apparent lack of concern. Justin briefly pursues Hailey, but after she's gone, he resumes his dance and travels in the opposite way. Unfortunately, this isn't the first time Justin Bieber and Hailey Bieber have gotten into a disagreement. There have been other such situations that suggest Hailey Bieber and Justin Bieber's relationship has worsened. Take a peek at Justin Bieber expressing something out of the ordinary to Hailey Baldwin.
If you weren't so hot, I would have got rid of you a long time ago.
If you weren't so hot, I would have gotten rid of you a long time ago. This may have been uttered in jest, but it instantly drew criticism for being a touch too abrasive, even as a joke. If he acts like this in public, I can't imagine what he does privately, one user remarked. Since then, other videos have started circulating on social media that depict the couple's tumultuous relationship. But we'll come back to those eventually. Hailey Bieber said, "That's the attitude," to Justin Bieber right after he said, "Listen to me, woman." This was only followed by a very awkward 1 to 2 minute where the two were going live on Instagram and reading comments from the fans. As soon as Hailey decides to say something, Justin interrupts her by saying that he was whom the question was directed towards. It's my Lyme disease. Hailey responds by saying that she too had helped him with it, which is why she was speaking. The two laughed for a couple of seconds during the video, but it was very clear that it was getting wildly uncomfortable. If you look closely, you can see Justin gazing at the remarks on the screen before the two uncomfortably laughed. But Hailey couldn't take her gaze away from her spouse. While Justin may have chuckled at a witty statement he'd read, it was unclear why Hailey had joined him unless it was to relieve tensions. Even after the atmosphere had calmed down, Justin Bieber continued to bring up the subject. Hailey chose to explain herself after bringing up the subject of his Lyme disease for the third time. She recalls how she'd stayed by him. Despite the fact that the duo was performing live in front of thousands of people, Justin appeared unconcerned. This was also reflected in the comments section, where users left no stone unturned in shaming Bieber for his behavior towards Hailey. Here's how a user, Brenda Kaufman, reacted to the clip in question. Belittling her, making her feel insignificant, invalidating her being part of his experience, calling her out in public to make her feel small, talking about sex on camera to make her feel uncomfortable, making her say he won chess. Many tactics emotional abusers use with their spouses. Hailey Baldwin and her husband, Justin Bieber, recently spoke with Vogue for their March issue cover story, in which they discussed their marriage. The thing is, marriage is very hard. That is the sentence you should lead with. It's really hard, she said. During the conversation, however, it was discovered that Hailey might have been putting unreasonable limits on Justin Bieber in their marriage. To begin with, the two stated that they would refrain from having sex until they were married. Everyone knows that Justin was not the one who followed that guideline in his marriage. Justin had already been rumored to have slept with Selena and others during his past partnerships. However, in the interview, he expressed sorrow for all the pre-marriage sleeping together. The hostility between Justin Bieber and his wife Hailey Bieber also leads his fans to want him to get back together with Selena Gomez. Selena and Justin had been in a relationship since they were 18 and 19 years of age. Both of their fans had grown up watching their favorite stars getting together, and it became part of childhood nostalgia for them. I wish Justin and Selena were still together, says Emo Jokey on Twitter. However, this only represents an iota of the actual number of tweets that have been pushing Justin to let go of his wife and get back together with Selena Gomez. Do you also believe Justin and Selena have a chance of getting back together? And more importantly, do you realistically see Justin Bieber mistreating Hailey Baldwin? Do let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching and have a great day.